Hi everyone, welcome again to Tea Time with Demarcus. This is webinar number 2, and today we're going to be talking about the top 3 critical threats to cloud cybersecurity. So let's start off with defining what is the cloud. The cloud is an internet-based remote server used to store data safely away from local potential physical disasters. Simply put, the cloud is another computer, only that it has a massive amount of storage space available to save a company's data. It not only saves files, but also software, applications, and pretty much anything else. Because of the efficiency in the cloud, it's generally one of the best ways to store sensitive data. But just because it's remote doesn't mean that cloud storage security issues don't exist. So today I'm going to be discussing cloud storage security and the best methods for data protection. So if you've ever wondered how companies protect their data, I'm going to tell you how. So the next thing we're going to talk about are the 3 core threats in using the cloud. The first threat is compromised accounts. A person who compromises an account is someone who can pretend to be one of the company's employees by gaining access to their username and password. They can pretty much be that person and act on their behalf without the person knowing. The tool we use here at Demarcus Technologies to help prevent accounts from being compromised is called UEBA, which stands for Users and Entity Behavior Analytics. An example of this is if we were to notice a user with the same credentials accessing an account from 3 different countries all at the same time, which would be indicative of a probable account compromise. Another example is if a sales user was accessing his or her CRM application and we see a massive number of export downloads, this would be a very likely indication of malicious behavior. We would be able to detect scenarios like that with the use of UEBA. The second threat is cloud-native malware. This is not a traditional antivirus kind of malware, this is a new type. This type of malware, for example, would grant access to an application through Google credentials, allowing it to have access to your Google information, which could be malicious. There could be malware apps that pretend to be a different application that when granted access now suddenly get a trail directly back to your entire information. The technology we use to prevent this kind of attack is an application firewall. It allows us to have the visibility to discover those applications that are off network and in a cloud-to-cloud network base that are not the typical applications, but ones that are of great concern. The third threat is data breaches, which involve the intentional or unintentional release of confidential information to unauthorized persons. Confidential information could be a combination of personally identifiable information, or PII, with payment credit card information, PCI, and intellectual property. The potential dissemination of this combination of data can be extremely risky and destructive to a company if it's breached. That's why it's so important for companies to ensure they have visibility into data breaches as well as potential oversharing in their organization, either internally through people inside their organization or externally. At Demarcus Technologies, the tool that we use to protect our clients' confidential information from being overshared is Cloud DLP, which stands for Data Loss Prevention. This data protection method allows us to prevent potential hazards from becoming a problem. But you shouldn't need to stress out about guarding your critical business data against these and other threats. That's the job of us IT professionals. We have the strategic knowledge, skills, experience, and technologies to deploy to better protect your company's critical data in cloud. We know how to secure your company data. So allow us here at Demarcus Technologies to comprehensively manage and guard your sensitive information so you have the peace of mind to better invest your time into your company. I hope you all found today's webinar on cloud cybersecurity to be quite helpful, and I can't wait to see you guys back on our next webinar here at Tea Time with Demarcus.